Hello and good morning. Let me just make sure that we're online. Today I'm going to be painting this. Okay, I think we're good. Pretty sure. You sure we're good? Yeah. Alright, so I'm going to be painting this frosty morning painting. It's ice on a branch, and this is in preparation for my acrylic painting class that's going to start next Wednesday. So that's why I'm painting this to prepare for my class. So I have here golden open paints. I have a cadmium red light, then I have some alizarin crimson here, ultramarine blue, black, what is this, carbon black, and titanium white. And I'm going to be mixing some of these colors. Let me show you. I already made a little bit of a color palette here to show you the color palette that I'm gonna be using in this painting. So basically it's a pink, white, and cad red, and then this kind of dark purpley color. I'm going to use alizarin crimson, ultramarine blue, white, and black for the shadow color, the warmish shadow color, the reddish one. And I have a dark blue that I made with ultramarine blue, carbon black, and white, which is mostly on the lower right corner. Good morning, Scott! Very nice to have you here. And then I have this very light, warm highlight that I'm only going to be using for the icicles. It's cad yellow and cad red and white. How are you doing today? How are you doing today? So let me start by mixing some of the... Actually, I can do it right here, so I'm not hogging the screen. Let me put a little bit more. I'm just using this tiny little palette. It's a little more manageable than that huge one. Well, hopefully it'll work out for me. But it's easier to hold. So I'm making a very light pink color. I think I'm gonna add a touch of white to it. Even whiter. You know what, I think I'm just gonna use a little paintbrush to mix. Sometimes I like just using paintbrushes to mix. It's much easier, and I'm gonna get some more white. So I think I'm going to need it to need more white. Music is a bit loud. Okay. Thank you for telling me. Let me go and make it a little lower. I think it should be better now. I hope so. Alright, so let me get some more white in here. Like a nice light pink. Okay, that's a nice color. Alrighty, and then I'm going to mix the alizarin crimson and the ultramarine blue. I'm gonna get quite a bit because I'm gonna need a lot of paint probably. So I have here more alizarin crimson than blue. I think like 1 part blue, 2 parts alizarin, because the alizarin is always a little more transparent. But as it looks, I'm gonna need more blue. I'm also gonna add some black to that, quite a bit of black, to mute it down a little bit. And then I'm also going to add some white. Grab the white with the paintbrush. I don't want it too light, but it needs to be light, a little bit lighter. Also, the white gives it some opacity, so it doesn't, you're not gonna see streaks on the canvas if you put a little bit of white there. I think I need a little more blue. I think a little more blue. Better. You're welcome. Okay. Let's put more over there. And let's get some blue, just mix it up. I think that is nice, a nice color. I don't know if you can see it really. Yeah, you can see it. Hopefully that's enough. And then I'm just going to make a blue and black mixture. Blue and black and also a little bit of white. So this shadow color will be just bluish, not the reddish shadow. I think I added a tad too much black. It's a bit dark. And then I'm gonna add some white again. And then you can really see the color. Once I add the white, you can see the actual color, not just dark. How's the weather over there, Scott? It's pretty cold, I'm assuming. It got really chilly today over here. Hey Clara, hey, welcome. Welcome. Okay, so here are my colors basically, and then when I get to needing the light color, the yellow, light white, and I'll mix it afterwards. But for now, I'm just get a 3/4 inch brush, and well, I'm actually going to start by sketching in the design really quickly. Maybe just putting in the shape of the branches so that I can know how much of the background I want to put in. Very cold. Yeah, it's not too cold here, but there's a serious wind chill and that makes it very cold. So I have a branch starting about here and then it goes up to about here. I'm also trying to keep proportions and I'm not trying to make it exactly as it is, but just, you know, relatively. Anything exciting happening this weekend for you guys? You're getting a new battery for a van. Ah, oh nice. I guess needs. So I'm using this dark blue color to sketch in. What are you sketching? Thank you for the little sketches that you did of me. Very sweet, very cute. And there's another one just coming. Try not to leave too much paint on this because this paint doesn't dry very fast. I think I'm just gonna leave it like this, and this is good enough to start with, and it just gives me an idea of how far I'm going with the background colors. All right, that's good. It's a great way to pass the time, waiting for a battery. I have a heart here. I wonder what it does. Huh, interesting. Okay, I guess I can, yeah, of course I can. Okay, let me dip into this pink color here. Just load my brush really nicely. And just going up here, just putting a little bit of this pink. Everything will get quite blended in. So all this bright color will be very nuanced. You're studying feet and shoes. That's a good thing to study. Lewis was painting a foot the other day. Lewis, our friend. So I do have my reference photo right in front of me. The reference photo is basically the thumbnail. If you guys click on the thumbnail, you'll see it. Yeah, you can't go wrong with a little bit of pink and dark. Pretty colors in this one. I think that what makes some paintings so beautiful and some photographs and such is the monochromatic. It's so simple, such a simple color palette. Yeah. Just hoping that you'll kind of can hack it. There's always a little bit of a doubt in me. Whenever I try start something, there's always a little bit of a doubt whether I can do it or not. My philosophy in life is that nobody really knows what they're doing, really. We're all just kind of making it up as we go. And that's true of everyone, I think. Keeps me sane. It's good to think like that, and nobody really has the answer, the ultimate answer to life, the universe, and everything. Okay, so now I'm just going to go into this. I think actually it should be a little bit lighter, this shadow color. I'm gonna start down here and there's too much red. So here's what I'll do. Sometimes you don't see the true color until you put it on the canvas. I need, whoops, whoopsie, it's okay. I need more white in there and more blue. I'm just going to mix with the paintbrush here. Just gonna mix a little bit of it. Whenever I have my students change a color, if the color is too much of something, they have a big volume of paint, I always say take a little bit of paint aside and try to match that instead of matching the whole pile of paint, because sometimes it takes too much paint to adjust the whole amount. Hey Abir, hello, very nice to have you here, Abir. That's a much nicer color. I guess I should change to the bigger brush then. Yeah, we're just making it up as we go. So I'm just laying down the colors, and then after everything is laid out, then I'm starting to blend and to bring the dark into the light and the light into the dark. Trying to get this painting done within 3 hours, because I'm planning to have the students finish this in 2 sittings, so that's 4 hours. I don't have a lot of paint on my brush, just have a little bit, and I'm just kind of caressing the canvas with a tip. I'm not going very deep, because when you just go kind of really softly, then you can get into all of the texture of the canvas, and if you go too roughly, sometimes it just goes on the top of those teeth the canvas has. Now I know it's getting a little bit dark in here, but then I'm going to go back with the light. I'm also keeping in mind all the ice around these sticks, so I don't want to go too close. Got a little more dark in here. And on the bottom we have more blue than this red color. Let me just How are you doing, Abir? How's the weather in Ireland? This morning we woke up and it was only 28 degrees, or 27 degrees in the morning, but the wind, there's such a big wind that it makes it, the wind chill factor is very, very cold. Looks like a face in pink and purple. It's gonna change. Now I'm bringing more pinks in here and lightening it up. Now sometimes I'm going pretty deep in here and just getting off the paint off with a ferrule. So I'm a pretty messy painter. 14 Fahrenheit. Ooh, that's cold. That is cold. Yeah, I see faces too. Especially in the pores. When I do my pores, generally I see all sorts of monster faces and fish and birds. I see a lot of birds and fish. So basically there's not really a rule here on how, and at one point I'm gonna stop looking at the reference photo because I don't need to make it exactly like that. I just want that kind of blurry effect, you know. You get that when you just blend everything so soft, but you can still see darks and lights. Kind of like the light peeking through the branches. 47 in California. California? Hang on. The weather app told us it was snowing. I think I'm getting Dreaming Cat Studio confused with somebody else. I thought it was thought it was somebody else. My friend Abir from Ireland. I think I have that wrong now. California. It's pretty balmy for... You grew up in LA? How is LA? That's a big change. I think it's better in Nevada. Do you feel more free or more, I don't know, got more privacy maybe? Now the paint is starting to get tacky a little bit, so I gotta work fast, kind of soften all these brush strokes that I have here. Yeah, it's a really nice paint. It's very much, it's a little bit like oil paint. I keep thinking it's kind of like an intermediary between acrylic paint and oil paint, because you also have the benefit of drying slow, but it doesn't smell and it's non-toxic, and you don't need to use turpentine or mineral spirits and stuff like that. Melissa! Oh, forgive me that I forgot. I'll remember. I'll remember now. Thank you for reminding me. Lived in Portland for 33 years. Wow. How do you like Portland? Not so much since you moved. Get some more dark down here. I don't want it to look too fractured, you know? Oh, I just have blobs, a lot of blobs of paint here and there. Blobs of color. Left in LA. Left LA in 76. Ah. Cool. That's nice. Thank you. There's a little more color than the reference photo, but I don't mind it that much. So now I'm getting this bluish color. It's a very dark blue, and I'm gonna start putting it on the bottom because the bottom is a little bit cooler than the top. Just blue and black and white, ultramarine blue, kind of working it up a little bit. I want the transition to be pretty soft and slow, not so dramatic. So I started working on I'm working on another mural. It's a canvas mural, and it's the map of 2 towns that are nearby for this lady. This is my first time working on a canvas mural. This is going to be very interesting, and also the theme, the subject, painting a map is pretty different for me. Freudian slip, said difficult. It was difficult, but I think the sketch was the most challenging part of the whole thing. I think it should be easier now that I kind of have an idea of how it should look. There was a lot of research involved. Hey Rob, hello, happy Friday. Thank you. I'm sure that the result won't be exactly like that, but I'm not worried. Okay, I think I'm bringing some of this blue up, and then I'm gonna start putting some more pink back in. It would be too challenging for you? Wait, what would be? Kind of forget what I just said. More pink. I think I need more paint, more body to blend here. And if there's any spots that I want to bring more darkness in, I'm just gonna put more of this dark blue. I'm seeing one big black dark bulge over here. Okay. My painting would be too challenging. A sketch of a hummingbird. That's sweet. And to do all the frost. Challenge is good, that's right, Scott. Thank you. Well, you know, sometimes you just gotta be okay with not being the best in order to get better. That's the truth. If you always try to do something good, you know, that's perfectionism for you. Not very good for the creative process. But don't I know it? I know perfectionism. I'm just gonna mix some paint right here on the canvas. You know, it's challenging for me too, Rob. I've never painted something like this, but I just keep looking at the reference photo and, you know, just winging it. We're just talking about how we don't know what we humans just kind of wing things. Nobody really knows much. It's a very good philosophy. Let me just get some of this and insert some color in between. Maybe just get a touch of this. See, because when I don't look at the reference photos, I keep putting paint where it oughtn't to be paint. Thanks, Rob. I'm loving the colors too. It's a very limited palette. I think limited palettes make some of the easiest and best looking effects. So if you want to just try out the colors, you know, go for a palette, a simple palette like this, and you can make something and it's still gonna look good because of the colors. So I'm only using cadmium red and white for this pink area. I'm using alizarin crimson, which is a cooler red, and ultramarine blue to make this kind of warmer shadow, kind of purpley color. And then I'm using, well, and white and black there. Acrylics do have both transparent and opaque, yeah, because alizarin crimson is very transparent color, and in order to make them, see here, it's so transparent, it goes, you can see right through, but if you add a little bit of white, it makes it more opaque. But sometimes transparent is good because you can develop layers with transparency. Okay. Maybe I'll get a rounder brush to kind of soften up some of these areas that look a bit too straight. I'm just kind of jiggling it to make these a little less irregular, kind of break up the brush strokes. I'm getting some of this pink color, just kind of scraping it. In this process, I'm also blending these colors, but I'm just kind of going to the edges mostly, where I want to blend them. Still see the faces? The paint is still wet, which is great. I love the straight brushes, because like the flat brushes, because you can make really nice what are they called, nuances, shades, blendings between the colors. What are they called? I forget. When you go from a color to the other color. Limited palettes may reduce. See, there's a heart here and it's really annoying on my phone, and I can't see the last word of the you found out some artists may reduce the values in their paintings. You know what? Because limited palette makes you focus more on the variation in value in shadow and light, and that makes for a much better composed and more harmonious painting, rather than if you have too many colors and then the colors compete in the disadvantage of the composition or shapes. Sometimes it can look too blah. I think I'm just gonna unite over there. Unite this kind of dark area a little bit. Ombre. Yeah, it's kind of like an ombre effect. There's another word for it that I cannot remember right now. 10 steps of value would be more for the best. Yeah, you should aim for like four value colors. I think that's what those people who do the course always say. And I tried it and I really thought it was genius, very helpful for my students. Yeah, but I think it's AOMBRE without the H. Ombre, kind of like a shadow. Kind of like a shadow. All right, are we ready? I don't know if we're ready. Okay. So, let me grab a smaller brush. I think I'm gonna start with the top of the icicles, which is the pink, the highlight is a very thin pink line, but it's light. So yeah, I think this is light enough. So I'm just going to go in the pink. Going in the pink. The face is melting away. All right. Making a shape, this icicle right on top. So I'm using a flat, well, it's an angular shader. It's got an angle to it. And like that. And let's just keep going with it. I'm not worried too much about the actual shapes. We can add more little detail as we go along. I just want to get kind of the gist of where the ice is. And around like that. We have a bit of an icicle there, and you know, the reason why I'm doing this today is because I've never painted ice and such a painting before, so I need to be prepared to know how to teach, you know? Like, learning never stops, and even teachers need a challenge. This is a challenge for me too, and I think doing this makes me a better teacher, because then I can articulate, I can really put words to my mode of thought. Over here it's mostly ice anyway, because when I just, oh, Angel, wait, oh, you're very welcome. It's Melissa. Dreamy cat. I'll remember. Bye, have a good weekend, Melissa. It goes forever. Yeah, learning is what it is. Life is just a long journey of learning. Never ends. But it's good. It's what keeps us interested and curious and feeling like there's more, like we haven't seen it all, you know? Because that feeling can get really depressing if you don't look forward to anything, and you have the feeling like, oh, today the same as tomorrow or yesterday, you know? It's very, very sad. But when you have something that there's always a next level, you know? You can always level up with something. That the worst memory, it's okay. I thought I made the mistake with Melissa before too. I thought she was someone else. My other friend has cat in the name of the channel, so I confused Melissa with the other friend. See, I have to focus to make the icicle straight, because I have this tendency of making everything lean to the to the left, like I just did here. One there and one here. See, so we just start with a nice pink top. Just imagine this is the highlight. And then also on the bottom it's also light. So let's make the bottom too, because that light gets refracted because of physics. You're learning to draw feet and shoes at 67. Good. I'm pretty sure you know how to draw feet and shoes, Scott. You're just refining your skills. You've drawn feet and shoes before. So I'm doing this because then to know where the icicles are, because after that I'm gonna fill in the background where where there's no icicles. Make this icicle a little bigger. It's okay to kind of make your own too. Yes, masters are masters because they always learn. Okay, so for the underneath, it's a little thinner. Drip. I'm just kind of tapping. Just tapping it. We have a nice icicle over here. See, it's easy to make it straight when it's right against the edge. I'm gonna make that a little bump. Actually, I wanted to take you guys a little closer. There we go. That's better. Thanks, Rob. I'm telling you, it's not that hard. It's just a matter of steps, really. Just methodical painting. What it really makes you do, and one of the reasons why I chose this reference photo, is because it really makes you pay attention to the shapes. It helps you pay attention to the value variations and all the color variations within the icicle. It's really simple because it's only like 3 colors that we're gonna use, or 4 colors throughout this painting, 3 most prominent colors. And it's all a matter of just playing with those and putting them, and see how easy it is to make it look right if you just use the right technique and colors. And I'm making my own icicle here. It's not really meeting the end like in the reference photo. And after you know how the icicles look, you can kind of make it up your own. Invent your own icicle. Insert your icicle where you want it. Right. Okay. Very pink. It'll change. So I'm gonna mix this pink color with others and okay. So now let's just kind of fill in all these little areas. Oh, I need the blue. I need the blue and the pink. I'm just gonna mix a little bit here. More blue maybe. Chili. More blue. Yes, right here. I want that edge to be super crisp. I think having crisp edges for everything and not really leaving the canvas showing. I'm a little bit obsessed with that. Well, I just think it makes for a neat painting. Always strive to be neat if you're going for a certain effect, you know? Sometimes it's nice to kind of go loose, but not always. For this kind of thing, I like to stay tight. Ugh. Okay. Got that. Let's go. Maybe I'll mix a little bit of color here with the purplish and the pink. And let's just clean up the edge here. That's another thing that Evolve Artist was teaching. Clean edges, how to... oh, I got alizarin on my paintbrush. How important it is to make neat edges if you want to get certain effects. What? Put a hoodie on. Why was he banned? What happened? No, I did not see. Oh my goodness. I'm not there for a day and he gets banned. Lewis. Why? Was he painting something nude, or what's the matter? That's sad. He can always start streaming on YouTube again. I mean, no reason to ghost shadow or shadow ban. I don't know. Ghost YouTube. Hopefully it's only temporarily. Oh. And for that? Oh, come on. I mean, it was just a matter of time, wasn't it? You kind of add more to your background at this stage too. That sucks for him. But again, if he really wants to stream and connect, I mean, he's always got YouTube. He used to do that. And it was pretty good, you know. I don't know exactly why he moved to Twitch, but he made nice friends there too, so. Mastodon. Huh, I've never heard of that. I see. I'm sure he'll figure it out. I'm sure he's a very resourceful young man. And a little bit over here. A little bit over here. It's nice when the ice isn't the thickness varies. So here and there I'm going all the way to the top tip of the icicle. I mean the top here, the bottom I mean. Sometimes the ice doesn't extend much lower. Alright, now I think I've got everything pretty covered. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to thicken my branches. Thicken my branches, and then I'll see if I need to make this ice even thicker, because I think over here we can thicken that layer. So my branches are pretty skinny. Lots of artists there. On Twitch? Oh, on Mastodon. Cool. So I'll look it up. I'll look up Mastodon. So I think I'm just gonna use some black. Some black and maybe some of this bluish color to do the branches. They're quite dark, but maybe not 100% dark black. Some of them are black, but not all. And besides, this looks pretty black. You know, the thing through the ice, it can seem a little less black too. And every here and there I'm making a nice little bulge as a branch B. For example, right here, a little bit of a bulge, and then some of them are quite wiggly and uneven. Please demonstrate how to draw a bark drawing. Wow. Only checked his measurements about 5 hours in, and he was right, huh? Nice. Well, his powers of observation are very well developed, you know, like he's been doing this for quite a while. And he's very methodical. He has patience for the most part, which is really all that is needed. Patience and not giving up. Little tiny buds. There's an overlapping branch here. Yeah, he is a perfectionist. He is. And he takes his time and doesn't freak out like I do, you know? Like, he keeps his calm and doesn't give up until he figures something out. So I very admire that in him. So a lot of the things, sometimes you can't figure them out and just give up, but Louis keeps his calm. It's a very manly man. This is a little bit thicker, but also lighter. Seeing this a little bit lighter. Maybe it's a little further away. Louis Guidetti, he's our friend. He does have a YouTube channel. He's extremely hilarious if you want to check out his videos, and he's very knowledgeable in traditional art. If you look him up, his YouTube channel up, he will entertain you and educate your bottom, your buttocks. He's very humble. just as a warning, his humbleness really comes through, and sometimes it's shocking and humbling. He's the funniest artist on YouTube and Twitch. So I'm kind of just tapping and going very slowly to get some nice variations in thickness. Went a bit high. Oh, I missed that little portion there. I think I'm missing a branch. I'm definitely missing a branch here. It's a bit crowded. It's a bit crowded. It's alright. Okay, washing my brush. I want to use the same brush for filling in that little gap there. I really like these premium paint brushes from Arteza. For the most part, I like their art supplies. They're not bad. And one of the things that I like about using a minimal palette is how easy I can redo a color. For example, if I was using, you know, a lot of other colors, then it would be difficult to match, to color match. When you use a simple palette, you just remember, I just put this one and this one and that one, and you keep experimenting with the proportions until you get it to the right proportion. There, perfect. See how easy? And also pre-mixing your paints, doing pre-mixed paints, and then you have a lot of variations of color that you can do with all these. Okay, you're right, it already is looking nice. Not that I didn't trust you all. You're going, Scott? Okay, cool. You're very welcome, Scott. Have a wonderful weekend. And maybe I'll see you next time. Bye, friend. You've seen a set of 12 angle shader brushes, different sizes. Huh, cool. I have not submitted a picture for the roast video. Nope. I did not do that. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I put the picture back up to, like, I'm seeing the full picture. You know, because, let me show you. So now, have the picture like this. And every now and then, I kind of zoom in to kind of see the actual colors. But now I'm zooming out and I'm just going to go for the big shapes that I see. So basically I'm going to be using the mostly the reddish shadow color. There's a little bit of the dark blue shadow color inside too, but I'm just going for the red now. So it's basically the pink on top, the reddish shadow, and then there's a very thin layer of the yellow color, the light. You'll think that it's white, but right here at a limit you can see that it's a warm white. So there's a little bit of white and yellow and red in there. So that's going to be right at the limit between the dark shadow and the white. There's actually white in there. But over in here you can see that we have that shadow color, then we have the pink, and then we have the white. And then in between them there's a little variation of each. But we're not focusing on that for now. I'm just going for big shapes. I'm zooming all the way out and just putting in the big shapes that I'm seeing. And then after you kind of understand how the patterns, it's basically just blobs of color and patterns of light in there, then you can just play with it and have some fun and don't need to look at the reference photo all the time. Alright, so let me get this light purple color. That's, well, I added some white because the color was actually too dark. I kind of forgot about the roast video, to be honest. You know what? I'm gonna get a round brush. I think a round brush will help me much better to be a little more exact. I'm using a pretty big brush, round brush. It's an 8 round. I don't need it to be too small, although I can also use a small brush. I do like small brushes. I'm just kind of putting this shadow color right on top there. I think it's a little bit colorful, but I think it'll be okay. It'll get mixed anyway. Sometimes this ice has horizontal shapes too, because the way it freezes, then it goes like this across. And this comes right across here. Because every highlight needs a shadow, right? Every light needs a shadow. As in painting, so in life. I also have a little bit of a shadow down here. I started painting with acrylics, and so that's my primary, because you paint with acrylics or latex paint, basically water-based paints for murals. So that's how I started painting on furniture and painting on walls, and then I just stuck with acrylic. I do have some oil paints that I experimented with briefly, water mixable oils. I like the best of two worlds, really, because they dry faster, but then you can clean everything with water. So I didn't need to invest in a whole bunch of mineral oils and stuff like that. But I just haven't really had the chance to experiment so much with oils. I would like to. It just sounds a lot more traditional, classic to paint with oils. But I would not want to use turpentine and all sorts of chemicals, you know? I would prefer to avoid that if I could. Just going a little bit across. Then every now and then we're just gonna have a nice highlight coming on top. I'm also rotating the brush in my hand every now and then when I'm feeling like if I go straight I won't have enough paint, so I go for rotating it. So I think this is a little bit dark, what I'm putting down here, but I'm gonna go with the pink over that again, so I'm gonna blend it in a little bit and make it a little more light. But now that I'm coming down and over here where it's lower, I was using more of the blue, then I'm going to use the blue to make the shadow. I'm gonna mix it a little bit to make it not so dark. So kind of mixing the pink and the blue. And let's see how dark how dark it is. It's perfect. See, it's pretty much the same value. So we're going for the same value but different color. And we're using more blue because all of this color really is just a reflection of the environment. All this water is just formed by the environment. And over here we have a very thin layer of highlight. So it should look kind of like the background color. Need more paint. Okay, so we have a little bit of this dark on the bottom. Just gonna mix it in with the pink a little bit. You're eating cake. Yum. What kind of cake are you eating? My daughter had a birthday party last Sunday, and we made a cake. Apparently my daughter is into video games now, so for her birthday one of her friends got her a Portal game. Okay, it's time for tea break. Okay. Time for a tea break. I'm gonna talk and sweeten my tea. So she loves this game, and so she wanted to make a Portal cake, because apparently there's a cake in the game that the author promises you as a reward, and you never get the cake. So she made her own cake, which is basically a chocolate cake with buttercream and whipped cream, you know, decorations on top with maraschino cherries on top. Do you know that cake? Toffee fudge cake? That sounds very good. Toffee fudge cake. Did you make it? Did you buy it? So by the way, this cake she made by herself. It was her 15th birthday, and she wanted to make her own cake, which I was totally for, because I was making a lot of other foods while she was making the cake. We had family over and such. It was a nice party. I just got tea all over myself. I have a drinking problem. It is well established. Okay, let us continue. Very good tea, very good tea. Over 2,000 calories. Oh my god. I bet it's posh for me too. Okay, let's get back into the pink, and let's remake the tip. I'm using a very thin liner brush now, and what I want to do right now is just make sure that that tip, the top, is very sharp, but I'm slowly kind of blending in the color underneath. So I want there to be a sort of transition, but I want the top to be crisp. And some of this dark can be a little lighter. Yeah. So I'm not going all the way to the bottom. I think I can make them a little bit thicker, the eyes. Maybe it's okay. So she went to the restaurant and she brought you a cake. She ate all the food and she just brought you a cake. She must have tasted it too. Is it too late to add a robin bird? Maybe in another episode. It's not too late, but perhaps, alas, not today. She went with her two friends. Robin would actually be very nice because it's also red. Really a nice color. It's nice when spouses have their own friends, you know? I think it's very nice when husbands have friends and they go out for drinks with friends, and when wives have friends and go out or whatever, hang out or whatever they do with their friends. I wouldn't know what a wife does. I go out sometimes, but not very often. I keep myself to myself most of the time. A Korean burger and a steak on it on top of the burger. Wow, that's some fancy eating. It's a lot of meat, all I can say. Yeah. Well, I don't think you're socially awkward, you know? I mean, here we are holding a conversation. I think everybody is, in a way, socially awkward until they decide that it doesn't serve them, you know what I mean? I consider myself socially awkward, but once I'm out there, I force myself to perform. I gaslight myself into thinking that I'm having a good time, or that, you know, I really care about other people. Whatever you have to do, man, whatever you have to do to just survive in this world. That's what I say. As long as you're not hurting anyone. It's okay to pretend that you're having a good time. Sometimes you have to. Well, I have to, Rob. I have to. 'Cause what else am I gonna do in this life? I don't want to work behind the cashier, behind a cash register. And so I have to kind of choose. I have to choose. The necessary evil to survive in this world. Whenever I go, it's really difficult for me to even, well, first of all, it doesn't serve me that I say that, like, it's difficult for me. No, but when, it's all about the language you use too. But when I have to get ready, and here's another thing, I have to get ready. When I get ready to go teach the class, I'm like, ugh, I'd rather stay home and have dinner with my family, and I have to go out and stuff. But then I realized that that's actually my job. My job is just to go out and paint for 2 hours, and you know, people really enjoy this, and I'm serving the community, and they really appreciate it that I go out and teach them, you know, and that really changes the way that I think about it. And then I think, well, you know, okay, this is a drag, but it's still work, and if I wasn't doing this, I would probably have to do a 9 to 5, and my God, I'd rather do this. So it's all a matter of perspective. Don't have it as difficult as we think. And sometimes you just have to deal with people. When you have your own business, it's like crucial that you have some sort of people skills. So yes, our self-talk is everything. It's everything. Are you an only child, Rob, or do you have siblings? So I'm an only child, and growing up, you know, kind of, it helps you know that when you're an only child, you have a lot of time to think, I think. I think you have time to think. You have 2 older brothers. A little bit of this. I want to mix these a little bit because there's a little bit of variation here. Properties in Florida. That state in the US. Oh. So I'm kind of putting this transitional color in between the light, between the highlight and the shadow, and also under the shadow. Okay, and over here it's a little lighter than what I made it, so let's just go and lighten this up a little bit. He's a millionaire. Wow. Very greedy. Doesn't surprise me. Thanks, Clara. Thank you. We understand. You're working. Uh-oh. Oh, excuse me. It's a chilly day here. I'm not cold, but I don't know, by proxy. There we we go. And adding a little more highlight in here. Got a bit colder today, yeah. Got cold here too. The wind is wicked. It's a wicked wind. So sometimes I just kind of jiggle it back and forth. Kind of gives it a nice edge. So this is, let me start using the blue as the shadow color for this, because we're lower. Just mixing it with the pink. Clara's very smart with marketing and stuff like that, and with a lot of other things, but she's got a very good insight on what works in the market. We can all learn from Clara. Let's go over the first one, but under the next one. So let's do that. I always like how when you overlap two things, it makes them look more three-dimensional. Marketing skills will be handy for selling your art. Yes, they will. So I'm just putting light areas here and there. And dark areas. Basically, it's just a pattern. So what the color in ice is basically the background color, colors and highlights and shadows. Okay. I didn't add any transitional color here. The colors in this icicle are almost like layers. You can see a layer of light, a layer of dark. It's kind of like yeah, that's artists for you. Artists find it very difficult to market themselves. Of course it is. Of course it is much easier. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is let's see here. Oops. I'm gonna wipe the middle thingy clean. I'm gonna make myself a nice warm white. Maybe you can teach your husband how to market and he can market you. It's just difficult to kind of see. It's difficult to see yourself as you can see somebody else, you know? Because you don't really take a look from far away. It's difficult to see up close is what I'm trying to say. Okay, so I have a white. Am I thinking of good at thinking of titles for your paintings? So and so. I'm not horrible, but I'm sure that I can be smarter about it. Yeah, I know. That's exactly right, Clara. I couldn't have put it better. That's exactly it. When you don't have the confidence that it's good enough. Okay, so I have the tiniest little bit of yellow on this brush. You see the yellow right here? A little bit of yellow, and I'm going to mix it in this white, just in a portion of the white. I still want to keep a little bit of the white untouched, so it's nice and yellowish. Can you see? Kind of looks a little bit. And then I'm taking the tiniest little bit of red too, really just the tip of the brush, So now I have this color that is kind of like a warm, very light orange. A very light orange color. So this is gonna add some sunlight, some sunshine in the painting, because it's not just white, it's got a little bit of the color. It does feel icky. Your art is beautiful, Clara. Just kind of, you know, have to figure out, I don't know. You know better. She knows. I mean, Clara knows that her art is beautiful. She just thinks that it should be better before she starts selling it, which is not the truth. You should start selling it. You can start selling it now. Okay, so I'm getting some of this light color, and I'm going to put it right above the stick. And sadly, I didn't leave myself room. I didn't leave it white, so it's kind of gonna mix in a little bit. So I need to apply it very, very lightly and not rub it in, so it doesn't mix with that paint above. Well, just a tiny little bit, so that it doesn't get the like brush stroke look. I think it's good but not marketable. I don't know. It's okay to have a hobby, you know? It's okay to have a hobby. I just recently read a very interesting quote that I really, really loved. It says, those who work need a hobby, and if you make your hobby your job, people need work and a hobby, and if you make your hobby into a job, it's good, but you should take up another hobby. So I think that is really brilliant, and if you make your hobby into your job, it becomes not your hobby anymore. It's grueling and sometimes unpleasant, and then you need another hobby. So it's okay to have a hobby as your art, Clara. It doesn't make it any less beautiful, and your art should be for your own enjoyment, and the time that you're there, art should be for you primarily. Wow. Yes, so true. You know, I think people just don't know. Well, art is subjective, and I'll just leave it at that. Just leave it at that. And there is a certain feeling or a tendency to look down upon those people whose art is inferior to our own, because of course we all know those people whose art is inferior to our own, and yet they have a much bigger following on social media, or they have, a successful art business or any kind of business. We all know those people, and they just, their journey is a different journey than our own. And we always have to keep that in mind, that just because they are charismatic and they manage to swindle people into loving them, doesn't make them happy, is what I'm trying to say. If your hobby is your job, you'll never work a day in your life. I know, it's a very good saying. However, you still work, my friend. I mean, still work. Believe me, trust me. You work. You can make your work enjoyable, and you can convince yourself that it's what you want to do. And after all, it's all in the mind. So whatever you convince your mind that you want, that is your truth. So if you can hypnotize yourself into being happy with what you have and wanting what you have, I mean, that is the true key to happiness, is wanting what you have. I need to change that afterwards. Some artists cleverly, I really don't like this heart here. Do you see how annoying it is? How can I get rid of it? I think it's a new thing that I have this heart here. See, and I can't see the last word of the sentence. Yeah. You know what? I'm not happy with doing cliche stuff and overdone stuff, and I think art is for your enjoyment. And if you want to make something that does not exist, something that hasn't been done 1,000 times, I think that's good art. Not necessarily copying this work and that work and getting inspiration from everyone. I don't know what I'm talking about anyway. Do more basic styles, that's what. Share a picture in Discord. Share it. I am critical. I'm critical too. I think it's critical to be critical. If you weren't critical, then everything is equal and everything is the same and everything has the same merits, no matter what, and it's just not true. I think there's such thing as values and real quality work, real values. And those aren't necessarily subjective due to being subjected. Hey, Jamie. Section, maybe general? Definitely not art inspiration, maybe. Or maybe art inspiration. I don't know. How are you doing, Jamie? How are your babies? I should have definitely not gone all the way to the bottom with the paint. Art inspiration. I mean, even, you know, some works of some older artworks, classics or whatever they call them, some of them is not very good either. Like, I don't get the appeal of a lot of art, classical and modern, but it's okay. I'm not the ultimate art critic. I don't need to like everything. So I guess I'm just going with this yellowish white with this warm highlight color, and then maybe putting some brilliant white in there. I think at this point though we'll have finished our first class, and we would just continue this next class. Maybe even earlier. Oh. That's funny, Rob. Sorry to hear some of your children are sick. Jamie. And your husband, your other children. Your other child. How's it look? Looks okay. Let me see. Am I seeing the quality? Higher picture quality. Is it showing well? Looks to me very grainy. Very weird. A man cold. Most of the time people don't take it though because soul crushing. You're very welcome, Clara. Have a wonderful weekend and I'll see you soon, I hope. Bye. Soul crushing. Oof. That's a lot to leave us on, Clara. Oh, that's alright. No. It's been tough times. Oh. That's alright, Clara. No need to apologize. I don't know why you're apologizing. I was just being funny. And you don't need to change. What do you mean, Rob? I thought it was a joke, but now I don't think it's a joke. What are you talking about? I know men are tough, but what exactly are you referencing? I understand. I know men are tough. I would never deny that. I wish men were tough. We're tougher too. I love seeing tough men. The society doesn't like seeing tough men and wants men to be pussy whipped, but we know who the real men are. I hope there are no children watching. If not right now, they're Googling what this means. Oh, you know, they do. I think they each have stamina for what they were built to do, you know? Women, of course, they have stamina for multitasking and carrying babies around and making dinner and making a lot of different things all day long. Yes, that is true. But also, you know, men build the highways and build the architecture and build this and build that and do plumbing, and there's a lot of things that women don't want to do because it's too tough. Construction working in the cold, that's tough. I wouldn't want to do that. A keyboard warrior. No, Rob, that is not the same as a real warrior. No. Deep breath. Deep breath. Actually, I'm gonna start putting a little bit, you know, I'm mixing up. Let me just mix up a little bit of the pink and the yellow to make a little bit of a pinkish highlight in here. So it's not all yellow, it's more of a pink. Oh, thank you so much, Jamie. Yeah, I hope Clara's doing okay. Hope her hard times don't last long too. And let's get some of these icicles. And this one. Oh, I think I hear a chainsaw there. Oh my god, did a tree fall down? It's very windy here. If trees fall down. I don't know why somebody would want to go out in this weather. Okay, so right here we have some pinks. So let me make some of that pink and purple mixture. I guess I have some extra red. I'm just mixing it with a yellowish. I wonder. Let's just see what this is gonna look like. Must add something so that the paint doesn't dry as quickly. Yeah, well, these paints dry a little bit slower, but still they dry too fast, maybe still too fast. I do have a solution that came with a landscape set. It's to dry them a little slower. And now I just want to pull some of that pink down to mix it. Let me get some of this pink. And every here and there I'm gonna thicken it. It will be a wood turner. Let's see. Time for a tea break and looking at it really. I don't know. Take you guys a little closer, maybe. It's about as close I can get without losing too much picture. Yeah, regular acrylics generally dry very fast, but this golden open paints that I use, they last for, they dry much slower. They're slow drying acrylics. So that's why I prefer these. They're kind of in between acrylics and oils. Kind of like a introduction to the world of oils, but still they dry. If I put a thin layer, then it dries very fast. Sometimes I want it to dry faster. But I do want to kind of blend. Well, actually the top looks pretty okay. Let me fill in some spaces again. I'm seeing some spaces that I need to fill in. Where are they? Thank you, Rob. I appreciate it. From a close distance, could use some improvement, but I'm working on it. At this point I can also do a little bit of blending while the layers are a bit tacky. Sometimes that helps. I guess every single paint performs differently, so you kind of have to learn how to use each paint. And then the paints will work well for you. I guess it's all a matter of timing and technique. That's where I wanted to get it. Right in here, I think. Ah, right in here. Okay. Okay, pink and purple. Running out of mixing space. I think I have it too thick here in some places. However, acrylic paint dries darker than when it's wet. So always keep that in mind, especially when you're trying to match certain color that is dried. Maybe it's useful to go a little bit lighter. Yeah, I wanted to get rid of this here. Loads of reference photos. Yeah. Yes, I have a lot of them. Too many. I have a folder of inspirations, and inside inspirations I have people, animals, cosmos, mushrooms, nature, patterns, all sorts of stuff. But not, I don't have physical references though. I think I should have some physical references, but I don't. Magazines and stuff like that. Don't want it to have brush strokes at all. So I'm trying to make the blending as clean as I can in between these two colors. I mean, you can paint them, you can make them into a study. I'm sure whatever a man does in his own home, it's that man's right. But yeah, it's always more fun when you think, maybe I'll sell this one day, and that would be a problem. But learning the techniques might give you ideas on, you know, like different variations of the lady. Maybe you make the women into dragonesses, or make them into fairies. You can use them as a reference, not necessarily to copy, but just to inspire you know? I mean, get a lot of what's it called? Ooh. Poses. You can do a study on poses. They have very nice poses in there, I'm sure. I think I went a bit crazy with those patterns. It's more of a flow than a chop, chop, chop. I think that's the problem. It's too choppy. So let me go horizontal to kind of clean that up a little bit. And then I wanted to make this a little bit taller. Adding a little bit of the darkness in there. Yeah, those horizontal strokes are great. Oh, nice. Also, do you visit Unsplash? They have a lot of reference photos of people, and a lot of, not just people, but a lot of other, I think actually this picture might be from Unsplash. And you can save them in their folders, so you don't have to busy your own computer. And then when you want to go, when you want to find it, you can just, when you want to find something, you just go to to Unsplash and see your collection, which is sometimes what I do. Use Pixabay? Yeah, I used to use Pixabay too. Yeah, Pixabay and Pexels. They also do videos, but Unsplash is only photos. Sometimes I find better quality stuff in Unsplash, but not always. Yeah, that's good. Hopefully it's very temporary thing and he can hack it. He can hack it. Let me do a little bit of lighter color. I should have just done this from the beginning, but now I know, and that's why I do these, so that I can also learn. I also learn while I'm here. That's why Lewis does it too. You kind of figure it out as you go along, like I said. Hey, Steve! Thank you. Glad you like it. This is different. This song. How did this make it on my piano playlist? It started off chill and just freaked out. There we go. Your mustache. Yep. That's how my mustache looks too when I have to go outside and shovel the snow. Haven't had to do that at all this year. We have not had a real winter here in Pennsylvania. I don't know about you guys, but we have been deprived of a proper winter, which is pretty sad. I mean, I don't love winter, but I mean, at least you have, it's pretty. I don't love the cold, but it's pretty. It's just not winter without nice, good, snow. Oi. Don't you have a wood burning stove? A wood burning stove makes the winters bearable here. Really. It's tough. Yep. I don't know about summer, but I like spring. I like fall. Summer. It's not bad, not bad. Then you have to put on the AC because it's too hot. In the winter, we put on the heater because it's too cold. It's like people can just never be comfortable. It's funny because when I used to live in Romania, I would never put on the... We didn't have an air conditioning, We just deal with it. And we were fine. And now I live in the Americas and we still don't have an AC. We have, oh, my bicep. We have a little window AC, just in one room. Upstairs in the bedroom. But our house is built presumably to... That's sad. Rob, no wood burning stove. Yeah. We're in Pennsylvania. Does Romania have cold winters? The weather is pretty much like it is here. It's the same, When I talk to my mom, it seems like somebody's really coordinating the weathers between us. It's pretty much the same. Just a little bit darker. But when I lived in Romania, we just had, you know, those heaters that are gas heaters? I'm not sure. It was like you had these heaters that were attached to the wall, and you turn the heat on and it would turn on with electricity, I think. I think they were electric or oil, I'm not sure. Probably not oil. Why did I put that there? Shouldn't have put that there. Should be white here. It's pretty hot in Romania though. Not hotter than here, it's the same. We had a little snow, but it melts right away, and not too many cold days. Wow. When it gets cold, it gets really cold. I have a hoodie on. I'm pretty chilly at the moment actually. I have a heater here next to me, one of those heaters that you plug in, and it's filled with oil and just warms up the space. But we had a fire this morning, in the fireplace I mean, and it stopped. The wood burned, and now after this I'm going to make another fire because the wind out there is wicked wind. And we have this beauty here. We've not had many days below 0 degrees, 0 degrees Celsius. I have a fleece coat over my hoodie. Oh gosh. Sorry to hear that, Rob. Gotta get yourself a wood-burning stove. I gotta say, that wind worries me a little bit. Alright, and let me just get this. Alright, maybe just give it a teeny tiny bit of white highlight here and there, not a lot, and then just gonna call it done. You know, I just don't have the patience for it anymore. My back is hurting a little bit. Brooding and coziness. On to the nursery. Really windy here. Yeah, it's really windy here. It's very kind of scary a little bit. So now I'm just adding a little bit of white highlight right under in the middle of the yellow, basically. So the white highlight is a highlight to the highlight, as it were. Oops. I got red by accident. See what happens when I put the wrong color in. Make everything better. What do I think? Let me look at this from a distance. The colors, Could go a little brighter in here. Then around it should be a warm color. Okay, I think I'm gonna stop it here. I need to give it a little time and then I will look at it again because I can't see it anymore. I've lost the vision of it. Need to give it some time and then I'll look at it and I'll see what's wrong. I have the feeling like I made some color. I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with it. The other way. Alright guys, thank you so much for joining Rob and Jamie and Steve. Have a good weekend to you too, and I'll see you maybe next week. So, mwah, bye. Good weekend.